Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Cup Chat with Birding with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. Remember, if you are joining us this morning, please go ahead and comment that you're here and we are seeing you. I am pulling up Facebook now so we can see that you are with us. And if my computer will work at any sort of fast pace on this Wednesday morning. I think it's tired.
Nope. It's the weather out.
It is. But let us welcome, excited to introduce our special guest today, Mary Pearl, and she is with the Texas Master Naturalist program. Coordinator is an official title for you, Mary Pearl. Give us the official title for you for national.
Depends on the day of the week, what my position title and what my job duties are, but I'm the Assistant State Program Coordinator for the Master Naturalist program. Perfect. Our state program coordinator is Michelle Haggerty.
Awesome. So first of all, I have a bit of fun to share with everyone. I brought snacks today. And I don't know, so Mary Pearl, we just finished up our Birding the Border program, who I don't know, you've never been to one of our programs, which we're going to have to change.
I was going to come to the one in
last year.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then
it
didn't happen.
So I brought snacks today because I've been lucky enough to keep a few of Donna's rolls. And so for anyone who has come to our Birding the Border program here in Del Rio, you know that the rolls are the best thing ever. And they are my true love. They are made with so much love. And they're amazing. So I thought I might just bring them for breakfast and show everyone who hasn't come and make Maureen sad because I can eat the rolls and she can't because she doesn't have any. So
I'm kind of impressed that they're still good right now.
Well,
did you get new ones?
I got new ones.
Okay, I was gonna say there's no way that 2 weeks later they're not moldy or anything. So
I would eat them 2 weeks later and moldy. That's how much I love these things. So if you're out there and you came to Birding the Border, please give us a comment that the rolls are the best and I'm not crazy just eating rolls on camera. So, but Mary Pearl, let's dive back now into your Texas Master Naturalist. We all know that you don't have good rolls like us, but you have lots of great things going on in Texas Master Naturalist program. But first, let's kind of give our viewers an overview of what the Texas Master Naturalist program is. I keep wanting to call it the Texas National Park Service. I'm not sure why that wants to come out of my mouth this morning. But Texas Master Naturalist. What do you do?
Yeah, it is a tongue twister for sure. But the Texas Master Naturalist program was established about 22 years ago between Texas A&M AgriLife Extension and Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, our state fish and game agency. And it was an opportunity to train dedicated volunteers for conservation, but conservation in their local communities, in their backyard, under kind of a train here, give here model, or like a learn here, give here model, where our program will train volunteers, potential volunteers, on all things natural resources, all things conservation, focused on the local ecology and local ecosystems, local birds, flora, fauna of their area, what they find directly in their backyard, and everything from soils and weather to fish and bugs and forest ecology and citizen science, interpretation, a whole slew of 24 different units worth of curriculum. And then those volunteers, once they are trained with that intense knowledge on all things conservation, provide volunteer service for the state under the umbrellas of those two state agencies, and volunteer on projects like building bird blinds or developing interpretive trails, helping to document rare species through citizen science programs. They also teach young children pre-COVID in a much easier format, and now in some new virtual formats, and it's fun to see the adaptations there. But it's a learn here, give here model of a program where we've trained volunteers to know intimately what the ecosystem provides in their backyard, and then be able to share that knowledge through service in their local communities.
That's interesting. So it is a fairly in-depth program for someone to join. Kind of walk us through the steps that if someone wanted to become a master naturalist, what they kind of have to do, that kind of sort of thing. Because I think that's the interesting piece to me is when you're talking about we train these people, we really train these people. It is not just a let me show up to the meeting kind of moment. And so if it's really a learning experience for those who want to be involved.
Yeah, so to join the Master Naturalist program, we're a chapter-based program. And so we have 50 chapters across the state, and our chapters are typically single county or multi-county kind of geographic organizations, chapters. And so you join your local chapter. Here in Lee County, where I'm at, it's the Gideon Lincecum chapter. I contact that chapter and find out when their next basic training class is. And like you said, the basic training class is intense. Usually it's 3 to 4 months long, with meetings once a week, every other week, depending on the length of time those training sessions are. And it's in cumulative, it should be about 40 to 50 hours of basic training contact. Now, not all of that is sitting at a computer or sitting in a classroom when pre-COVID or now that we're kind of getting back into it and meeting face-to-face again. A lot of it is field-based basic training. So getting out and actually touching and feeling and smelling the plant ecology and the geology of your local area, going on field sessions to learn from local expert presenters at your local parks and your local private areas, natural areas. And so joining that chapter, getting involved with their local, that was your question, getting involved with your local chapter's basic training is how to get started. And then from there, it's maintaining that relationship with that chapter and membership with that chapter, going through advanced training. A lot of times we get members who get into the program and realize, oh, I'm a bird person, or I really want to know more about herpetology. And trust me, bird people are totally different than herp people, and totally different from water people. And we find our volunteers really get excited about certain interests that just kind of they become a bird person or a herp person or so on. And so we've got plenty of opportunities for them to take advanced training and advance their knowledge and their expertise within those areas.
So basically you get trained on everything locally in your basic training class. And then as you continue through your Master Naturalist program, you can pick your specialty and if you want a specialty, and then take advanced training courses as related to what you want to learn more about.
Yep. Yeah. And some specialize, others don't. Others are a jack of all trades and absorb all kinds of different knowledge from, again, ranging from bird ecology and endangered species or invasives or water quality interests, just whatever within that realm of natural resources and conservations of your local community that you want to dive deeper on with your advanced training classes, we've got those opportunities available.
Well, that's interesting. And so that's fun fact. While we cannot officially give advanced training hours, all of our Birding with Extension courses, we typically provide a advanced training opportunity, but I don't know if we call it, but we've made something new, Mary Pearl, and I don't know if everyone's seen it out there, but I don't know what we call it, but it's basically advanced training suggested hours that we provide, and it's a printable form on all of our programs website, and so that way Master Naturalists can print those off and go ahead and send those over to their chapter to get approved. And so if you wanted to learn more about birds and your chapter approved you coming to a Birding with Extension program to learn more about birding or birds or natural resources, blah, 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 you can click and print and submit that to your chapter. So we've made that new fun fact printable version of our suggested hours.
Excellent. That's excellent.
I thought it might come in handy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the Master Naturalist program does a lot of cool things. Tons of volunteer hours working in their local communities, working with youth. Give us some of those cool moments that maybe stand out to you as something that would kind of is really neat that the Master Naturalist program has done either recently or, in the past couple of years. I know recently it's been definitely challenging to do.
Yeah. So recently, and with the challenges of COVID and virtual engagement, it's been fun to find how adaptive our Master Naturalist volunteers have become, or may have always been, and were brought a challenge that they were able to meet with COVID. And we've gotten some really interesting volunteer activities during this last year or so, as our volunteers have dug deeper into the data mines of plant ecology by volunteering with Brit and transcribing taxonomic data for plant species, or have gone into accessibility mode and have provided transcripts for educational videos and seminars that were done pre-COVID, and have been able to make those resources, have been able to provide their service time by transcribing those videos for new clients or new naturalists that are interested in joining the program, and may have some accessibility barriers that are no longer a barrier with these transcripts available to them. We have volunteers who are, during this COVID time as well, are teaching Zoom classes with young naturalists and able to engage through Zoom programming on in so many different ways, from field-based Zooms to pre-recorded sessions that they send out with little kits. The Galveston Bay Area chapter was sending out kind of beach kits with some local schools during the early parts of COVID, and it was really fun to see, again, just how adaptive our volunteers have been during COVID with their volunteer service. Pre-COVID, and again, as we're getting into this reopening phase of our state and our nation, carefully, of course, some of the really cool volunteer activities that our volunteers have done, they help on prescribed burns. We just had an excellent speaker yesterday on one of our state's seminar series. It's called TMN Tuesdays. And our volunteers have been able to get out and help Parks and Wildlife and A&M Forest Service staff perform prescribed burns on private property or on state property. Our volunteers, something that I've personally been able to volunteer with, and I don't get out from behind the computer as often as I want to, but they've been able, pre-COVID, we would take deer, harvested deer that were harvested legally as culls or as intended to donate meat, and we would take the you take the deer, and we were taking the heart and lung pluck from the deer, and Master Naturalist volunteers were taking that heart, lung, trachea, esophagus in the classrooms and teaching the respiration system of the animal, very similar to our own respiration system, heart and lungs, looking at circulation system, blood flow, and taking that into classrooms and teaching students about that. And then also about the ecology of these species and how similar they are, and their dietary needs with their stomach structure. Is so cool. Just getting to see the kids light up was one of my favorite parts.
Well, that is so neat. So being able to work with youth and adults is such a neat aspect of the Master Naturalist program. Really quick, we want to say hi to Stephanie, who's joining us, and Beth got on for just a second, but she had to go, and she will be back later to watch our recording. So, but Beth, hi, good morning to you too. Maureen, are you still there with us?
I am still here with you. I've been listening and enjoying.
Okay, so people can't see you without your video on.
I'm aware of that. If you'll give me a second.
Turn your video on and not show us everything?
In a minute, yes.
Okay.
Can you give me I used to have my little picture that would show up. When you
It's
can see
not
me, you just see my
showing-
name, don't you?
Mhm.
I just see your name, but it doesn't stream to Facebook since your video's not on. So all people
Oh.
hear is a voice, and it kind of is kind of creepy. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
that is kind of creepy. Okay. Well, let me ask Mary Pearl a quick question,
Yep.
and then I'll come back on via video. Can you
Okay.
share some of your stats with us about the Master Naturalist program? How many people do this statewide? How many chapters and awards that y'all have won too?
That's
Yeah.
a horrible question when she can't look at her computer. Gosh, I would
Oh, I
hate
have
to
that stuff memorized, Emily.
You have those memorized?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I'm
You are
proud of our
lucky.
numbers.
I could never memorize stats like that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the meanest question you could ever ask anyone. How is she supposed to have this to memory?
I don't have exact figures. I have averages. I think what Maureen is digging at is, our program has been around for 23 years now. This year will be our 23rd year. We're established in 1998. We have trained just about 15,000 volunteers over that last 23 years. We have, on average, about 5,000 to 6,000 volunteers that are active every year. Again, averages. And that fluctuates daily, monthly, depending on what training class has just gotten started or volunteers joining the program. We also have, and so those 5,000 or 6,000 volunteers annually, they provide over 400,000 hours of volunteer service. That's, again, an average over the last couple of years. It's been about 400,000 hours of service, which I'm going to do the math real fast because I didn't do it earlier. I don't have that math memorized. If you do that,
I told you that was the mean question.
that is the mean question. But 400,000 hours of volunteer service is about 196 full-time employee hours, or 196 full-time employees working all day, all year, 8 hours a day, 50 weeks a year. And that's our volunteers. That's what they were able to contribute to the state agencies. Our state agencies aren't at capacity to do that amount of work. And so the volunteers really are clutch for providing that service back into the communities and helping to maintain our natural resources. Maureen's also talking about numbers and awards. We've got 50 chapters across the state. And 2 of those chapters, this is their first year, and they're still in their final development phase. And I think, Emily, you are working with one of those 2 new chapters out in your area. And those chapters have won local awards, been recognized by their local county government. Our chapters have won state and national awards, EPA level awards. Wildlife Society has honored the program at the program level. Texas Wildlife Association, Texas chapter of the so many different organizations have seen the value in this volunteer corps and have bestowed honors on the volunteers themselves.
Well, that's wonderful. I hate to interrupt and go back to do a Facebook shout out, but you actually have some Texas Master Naturalists joining us today. And so we've gotten a shout out from Stephanie, again, one of our faves, that she is representing the South Texas Border chapter. And so she wants to let you know that she's here and listening. And she joins Cup Chat kind of frequently. Really quick, I know Maureen probably has another question. Oh, she's turning on her video. So, but before she asks her next question, is obviously Texas Master Naturalist program is a state level program. But we do have some viewers from out of state and some Birding with Extension family members out of state who joined us for Birding the Border. Is there Master Naturalist programs in other states that if you weren't from Texas, you could be a part of?
Yes. So Texas was the first state program. And we like saying that because we're proud and it's Texas and it's our culture here, but, and everything's bigger in Texas, but there are 29 other states across the United States that have Master Naturalist-like programs. They're not all called Master Naturalist programs. The Minnesota Master Naturalist program, the Tennessee Naturalist, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Florida, I could name them all if you gave me a little bit of time. But yes, we have sister organizations in about 29, 30 other states or so. And while Each of our programs are unique and different. The core values of learning about your local ecology and then providing a service through either volunteering or educating others is at the heart of each of these programs.
Perfect. Wonderful. Just for our out-of-state listeners, shout out to all of you joining us for out-of-state. So, and Dr. Tomachek is watching. So, hi, Dr. Tomachek. He has some nice words to say about all. Mary Pearl, he didn't mention anything about Maureen or I, so not sure what that means that we are, chopped liver, but I guess that's fine. So, Maureen, you had more questions for Mary Pearl?
I do have a question. So in 2019, of course, again, pre-COVID, was really when Emily and I were starting to pull together the Birding with Extension brand. It's not that we hadn't been doing birding things.
Brand, that's too harsh. We're family. Birding with Extension.
Okay, Birding with Extension family. Well, what I mean is that we had already been doing programs before then, but we kind of got our social media act together. Our first Instagram post was done while you and I were sitting at the booth at the Texas Master Naturalist conference.
Oh, yes. We made our social media stuff at the conference that year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's kind of where that started. And we went to, because we were building up our name recognition a lot in 2019, we went to a few different events, but by far, my favorite was the Texas Master Naturalist Conference. And I know that that's a big deal for a lot of Master Naturalists. So Mary Pearl, can you share a little bit about what the conference is and also what it's going to look like this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait. And I have a question. If you're not a Master Naturalist, can you come? So all of those.
Question.
3 parts.
Yes. So all of that is a resounding yes. Our Master Naturalist annual meeting is an incredible event. It is usually the 3rd weekend in October. This year it's October 21st through the 24th. It is 3-4 days worth of training and awards and networking and receptions, and we always have a good time and we always have lots of fun surprises. Anyone is welcome, Master Naturalists and those wanting to be Master Naturalists, or those that want to learn alongside us, or those that have the potential to maybe be a Master Naturalist one day, once kids are out of the house or whatever it may be. So all are welcome. Our conference is, again, it's 3 to 4 days worth of intense training and lots of fun. But this year we're going hybrid. In 2020, we went fully virtual with our conference, but we're itching to get back in person. It's fun to get to see everybody again, but then also to learn tactily and learn in person with so much of the material that we have at the conference. So we're going to have an opportunity for audience members to join us either as virtual participants or as in-person participants, and they can be there in person with limited capacities and safety guidelines followed, of course. Some of the highlights of our conference are field sessions. We have a chance to work with local partners to get our attendees out to local field sites and do some learning and some tours, usually a lot of behind the scene tours at local parks and nature centers and recreational areas. We always have some sort of evening activity. I think in 2019 we had mothing at night. We usually have a mothing event where we have a black light out. I think we've had prescribed burns on property not too far away from the conference. We had electrofishing one year. That was really cool. It was a conference. It was 2018, and just not a couple hundred yards behind the hotel was a creek, and we were able to bring out some electrofishing gear and go tromping through the creek and demonstrate electrofishing and collecting samples of fish and data from those fish, and that was really cool. What else have we done? We've had campfires, we have s'mores. There's always fun surprises at the annual meeting.
I love a good s'more.
Yeah.
I have to say the mothing, this is going to be weenie in a moment, but flying around me.
Have you been around Sam Kieschnick mothing?
No, probably not. But
okay.
I think about the moths around your lights. I'm like,
At first, it may put you off, but the energy that this one specific instructor exudes from every pore of his body he just,
The moths exciting.
yeah, you may not be a moth person until you talk to him, and then you will be.
We'll discuss mothing at a further date.
And that's a great point, Emily. One of the cool things about the conference, you know, not to over market the conference here, is that
we over market a lot on Cup Chat. Do not feel bad, Mary Pearl. We are like the saleswomen of Cup Chat.
Let's do it. But one of the cool parts is that we are able to pull some of these really incredible speakers, and through the networks of all of our volunteers and our chapters and the work that they've done at these sites, we're able to get the really the best speakers from across the state in conservation, you ladies included. Y'all were able to talk at the 2019 meeting, and getting these, you know, incredibly high caliber speakers is something that is a treat for our volunteers and for our participants at the conference.
You know what we should do? I have a plan. It's a crazy.
Everybody be worried. So there is a discussion of us coming to the Master Naturalist Conference. By the way, if one of us or both of us might put in like a speaking request, hopefully those get.
Well, I'll be there regardless. Mary Pearl and I talked yesterday about a different group speaking request, so I'll be there for sure.
Maureen doesn't have a choice.
I don't have a choice.
No.
I'm in the same unit as Mary Pearl. She makes us all come every year.
We share the same boss, so she's got no choice.
Maybe come or come. Here's my pitch for you should approve anything I send in. But then the other, what was I about to say? Oh, you know what we should do? Is there a Wednesday, Mary Pearl? Or is it just Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We may have to make an amendment and do a live Cup Chat with Master Naturalists every morning of the conference.
That would be so cool.
I know.
That would be fun.
But could we amend the time? 7:30 really is unpleasant. Have I ever told you whoever decided we should do it at 7:30 in the morning? Oh, unintelligent. It's not even funny.
Well, I'm guessing the conference, some of those field trips at the conference, you have to be ready to go early anyhow. So
well, yeah, on those field trips, but I could do live Cup Chats from the Master Naturalist Conference every morning.
Totally could.
With a different really Master Naturalist. That would be kind of neat.
That would be fun.
Crazy
and
fun.
hear about what they've been doing. No, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Okay, back to your questions, Maureen, if you have any.
No, I do. One other thing I want to talk about is this year for Birding the Border, we had a feature bird, right? The northern tropical hybrid Perullo is like our feature bird, and we're planning each year for Birding the Border, we'll have kind of a different feature bird, a local species that we want people to come see and know about. Master Naturalists have a different pin every year. Mary Pearl, can you tell us a little bit about that? And I know there's multiple pins, right? There's annual ones, and there's ones that you can get for being volunteers.
I wanted to give away pins, and I was not allowed because Master Naturalist gives away pins.
Pins are a big deal. Big deal. Don't mess with our pins.
Yes. Maureen shot down the pin idea so fast. There was no way I could give away a pin. I couldn't make a pin. I couldn't do anything with pins because we were not Master Naturalists.
But instead we have stickers now, and those were a big hit.
We do love our stickers.
I don't have a sticker.
I mean,
you didn't come.
Oh, you don't?
Out of love, you have to come.
I was just gonna say I'll mail you a birding with extension sticker. You have to earn your bird stickers, right?
Like those pins. You won't give me a pin, will you?
No,
I'll make you a pin. I'll make you a tray. I'll give you a sticker for a pin.
That'll have to be like an under the table black market deal, because we're not allowed to just give out pins. That's a big deal.
See, and stickers are a big deal to me.
Big deal.
Okay.
But yeah, so we do pins, and pins are a big deal with Master Naturalists. When you earn your first year certification, when you earn the title to be a Texas Master Naturalist by going through our training and providing volunteer service hours in your first year, you get the dragonfly, you get a pin, and you can put it on a lanyard, on a hat, wherever you want to put your pin. But then every year that you maintain your membership with the program and you maintain your hours, you get another recertification pin. And we vary that on different native flora and fauna each year. This year, it's the side oats grama, or Texas state grass. Last year it was the American bumblebee. You're gonna make me look bad if I don't have them all
I
memorized.
looked at your pin deal. That was so cool. Like all the different pins you've done.
All of them.
I saw that. I don't know. Maybe you posted it on Facebook. So you
Yeah.
can go check out their Facebook page and see all the pins they've ever given. But yes, it's cool. And you haven't had to repeat a pin yet. So I'm just waiting for the day that you run out of pin ideas.
Oh, there's so many animals and so many plants, and we'll never run out.
Good luck with that. I see that being challenged at some point.
We also have milestone pins, and so beyond just keeping your annual membership, you can also, depending on the number of hours that you give back cumulatively over your lifetime with the program, you can get different levels of dragonflies. So the bronze one, the silver one, the gold one with the diamond in it, and so on, and it goes up. And so when you get to our conference, and pins are something, again, big deal, you show them off. But we'll have people just kind of weighing themselves down with as many pins as they have on their shirt and just jingling everywhere as they walk by.
It's like homecoming in Texas.
Yeah.
The big homecoming moms. Maureen wouldn't understand. She's from Colorado.
Hey, I've seen them though. I know about this concept. I've never had one or made one or whatever you do with them. But I've seen them.
Ever?
No.
Okay, so I've never had one either. So sorry, this is way off topic. But again, no rules on Cup Chat. I've never had one, but because I was a high school teacher, A, I've seen them. And then B, I was a floral design teacher, and so I made them. I will one day get sparky enough to make you one.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe
I feel
can
so
make
special.
it for the Texas Master Naturalist Conference, and y'all can have mums instead of pins.
I got my first taste of mums last year. My son, I'm not from Texas either, and mums were not a thing in Florida. But I had to learn very quickly when he needed a mum for 7th grade. And so yes, mums are a thing now.
Mums, and they're huge.
Not for boys, for girls they are.
Huge ones.
Yeah.
The girls are huge, and the boys are called garters. You non-Texas people.
Okay.
I wouldn't have known that either.
So everyone out there, we've had a lesson on mums and garters for homecoming. If anyone has children going to homecoming, call. I can give you a quick version. So anyway, sorry. When you said people weighing themselves down, I just thought of how big homecoming mums have gotten, and kind of the same principle. So back on track now, back in the lane. So Maureen, any other questions you've got?
I don't know. I think we covered a lot of the ground and kind of gave a good overview. I hope that if you are a birder who's not a master naturalist, that you'll consider this program, because it's just a really awesome way to give back to the community. And of course, there's going to be times, like Mary Pearl mentioned, some people want to do it in the future, and it's just not the right time in their season of life yet. But it's an amazing program, and I think it's something pretty cool to be a part of.
Well, I have to say, I do have a shout out from Facebook to share with y'all. Dr. Tomachek says, "This is happening. I'm a witness, Emily. Hashtag Master Naturalist Mums." So just be prepared. I guess I'll have to get my glue gun out and get ready.
Well, so see, but here's the thing, is that John also has the same boss as Mary Pearl and me, which means he also has to be at the conference, which means that if I have a mum, he also needs a mum. So if that's what you're declaring, you better be aware.
Have we not learned anything?
Sorry.
Get a garter. My goodness.
The boys wear it on their arms.
Yes. Boys wear theirs on their arm. Girls. So they used to, when I was in high school, which was not super long ago, we would wear we would call them 3 flower mums or 2 flower mums, and it would fit right here on your chest. And so you could wear it without having so much weight. But now, you'll better hope I don't get crazy with this Master Naturalist mum thing. They make huge mums.
On a lanyard.
And on a lanyard. So you wear it on your neck versus on your shirt, because they're too heavy. They would pull your shirts down if you got them too big. So I won't make y'all's too big. So
but we will make one. We will make a garter. We'll make a garter for John as well.
And John says he will wear a garter. He goes, "Not to worry. I'm from here. I understand." He's on board.
Okay,
anyway,
sounds good.
But anyways, we are kind of getting over into our 8 o'clock time zone, and everyone has to get to work or get moving this morning.
Another cup of coffee.
Finish your cup of coffee. So Mary Pearl, any closing thoughts or anything you'd like to share about the Master Naturalist program? I think we are all excited about the upcoming conference, and hope that everyone is able to join via hybrid or virtually or in person. And that's going to be
we're going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Irving, so kind of right in the middle of the two sister cities.
Is that where we were last time, or is that a new?
We were on the far east side of Dallas in 2019. So we're moving west just a little bit, and then we move the conference around every year. And I can't tell you where 2022 is because that's top secret right now. But we do move our conference around every year to give everybody a chance to learn about different parts of the state. And our conference is that October 21st through 24th weekend this year. We will open registration later in the summer. So we'll have more details that hopefully I can share with your membership of Birding with Extension later in August.
Hey, you know what, Mary Pearl? I'll do you one better. You can write a section in our quarterly newsletter, The Flycatcher, that goes to the whole Birding with Extension family. So I'm going to do you one better.
How about I'll only do that for you if you give me a sticker.
Oh, and then you can trade me that pin. I don't think we want to go down this road. Okay, so the Master Naturalist Conference for 2021 is October 21st through the 23rd or 24th. And the weeks before the Master Naturalist Conference are our new Learn to Bird program, but our Learn to Bird program will have a West Texas and an East Texas version. Here, pause for the 30-second commercials. Here they come. Are y'all ready? We also have a program coming up this Friday. If you are a landowner and interested in nature tourism on your property or building a birding enterprise, there's a Birding with Extension program in Matagorda County at the Bay City Service Center. There's information. If you scroll down on our Facebook page, I'll also put a link in the comments with more information on how to register and some information on that program. Maureen, any comments on the program this Friday? You can join virtually. If you are not in the Bay City area, yes, you can join virtually.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And for Master Naturalists and birders alike, I mean, obviously for birders, it's going to be about birds and birding ecotourism, but it's for landowners as well. And a lot of times for our Master Naturalists, it's just a good way to learn about kind of some of the what our landowners are facing as current issues. So if you're a Master Naturalist and you're not a landowner, but you might be working with them, you know, volunteering in communities, where just kind of understanding the role that they play in conservation is important. So I think it'll be a good program for any of those groups of people.
Yep. Which, and maybe if you submitted it to your chapter education person, which is not the right title, but Mary Pearl, a program like that could count for advanced training hours.
Potentially, yeah. And so Master Naturalist attending any of y'all's events and any training in general works with their local chapter to get educational opportunities approved.
Yes. And so while we don't, since this program is on our website and it's just kind of a one-day program, we don't have that awesome printable form. But if you need a form like that, let us know and we will get you one made up and sent to you so you can have that to turn into your chapter person.
Yeah.
Chapter person. That's probably not the technical term, but turn it in.
Training director.
Anyway, so thank y'all everyone for joining us. We're super thrilled. We hope some of you join the program on Friday. If you have any questions or need anything, always give us a holler on social media or reach out to us through our emails. It's great to see y'all and happy Wednesday. We'll talk to y'all later.
I want to see Little Man real fast.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to
here.